So,
Hello,
we are
everybody.
live. Welcome to this new podcast. I've got
Lamin.
Liam on the right.
Liam on the right, and I've got Lamine on the left. These are my two guests of the day, and I'm Mr. D from the Hair Doctors. And today we're going to talk about very, very important topics. It's growing up without a father. What does it look like? We've got a father here who would like to have a relationship with his children on a daily basis.
Yeah.
And he's not been given the correct opportunity to do that.
Yeah.
Whereas we have here Liam, who was craving to have such a relationship with such a father like this one, but didn't get one.
Yeah.
Now, what happened, Liam? What, in your opinion, what happened? Why was your dad not there?
I think my dad was very monogamous, babe. Let's just put it that way. I think
Monogamous?
He was the type of guy. He was.
I thought you were going to say polygamist.
No. That's the difference. That's a different topic for a different day.
That's a different.
Yeah, but no. My dad, let's put it one way. He liked to entertain multiple women at one time.
That's polygamist.
Polygamist, right? Sorry, right?
Yes.
Sorry.
Wait,
no, but it was
I was pretty sure that's where he's going.
But he was very misogynistic guy. His views on women was very.
Do you speak to him now?
Not as frequently as I'd like to, but
you would like to speak.
I like to speak to him a lot more than I actually do. I don't get the opportunity, you know.
Does he live in a different city?
Yeah, you could say that. You could say that he's everywhere, man. He's everywhere. He's
right,
one minute he lives in Ashton, but when you see him, it's always varied. It's never in the same town, you know, if you understand what I mean. But yeah, I think with my dad,
so your dad is a typical African. He's an African king.
Is that? I wouldn't say king, but yeah, that's one way of.
But that's the African king there. The guy in Botswana. He's got like, I don't know if it's Botswana.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Mozambique. Is it Mozambique? No.
He's like Genghis Khan.
He's Swaziland. The guy's got like 50 wives.
He's like Genghis Khan, because he had how many children this guy had? He had maybe over 300 children, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, and my dad, he was just absent throughout my life, you know, and my mom, she took the main role. I would buy her a Father's Day card as well as a Mother's Day card. Yeah. If that makes sense. That's the amount of respect that I have for mom.
How many children did your dad have?
He had maybe, I think this is really bad.
No, with your mother.
Oh, with my mother. I was the only child.
Only you?
Yeah, only me.
And has your mom got other kids?
Yeah, she's got one other son.
Yeah. Younger or older?
He's younger. He's called Kobe. So his dad is Nigerian.
Oh, so your mom, once she goes black, she never goes back. Did she respect that rule?
She's part of our family.
Yeah, she's a sister.
She's a family.
Right.
Yeah.
She's a sister,
and a lovely person.
She's black inside.
Black inside. Yeah, she's black. Yeah, that's one way of
she looks white on the outside, but she's black
down. I think rootedly, she's from motherland.
So how long did she live with your father? Did not live long?
Not long. Maybe it was. I think that relationship was on and off. Sort of thing.
Right. Okay.
He kind of like.
That's what happened with multiple wives.
Yeah.
He's got to satisfy them all.
But believe it or not,
you have to take turns.
I don't like the way this is going.
That's why I hold myself.
Right.
But yeah, basically, my mom, she was seeing my father, but my father also seeing other women. So I have brothers and sisters that we've got 12 months between us. You know? So
do you think you know them all?
I know 3 or 4 of them.
Yeah,
really well. But the rest of them, because my dad, he was just kind of like doing what he wanted to do, and you know, kind of like scattered a lot. You understand me? So it's a shame to say though, like. It's only in my later years.
Is this a typical Jamaican man?
Typical Yardie. He's a typical, because he's a Yardie. Yeah, he's a Yardie. My granddad, Chester.
So that's one thing.
He had
that is one thing. Mm-hmm. One kind of African cultural thing that Jamaican did not lose.
Yeah, that's I think that's what kind of it stayed in there.
It's part of our DNA.
Right.
That's what they say.
So if I ask you a dumb question. You as a man, I know you're growing up now, and your position might have changed over the years. Obviously, when you were younger, you were probably more angry about not having a dad.
Of course.
Then when you get older now, you understand life and you understand the situation.
Yeah.
Like what a man can go through. You know, you're a man now.
Yeah,
you can say I hate the fact that my dad.
No, I agree with that 100%. I'll stand by that 100%.
Have you had several women at any stage?
No, I've never. You know, I'll be honest with you. Maybe I've played around with a couple of girls, three at the most.
Three at the most.
At one time, yeah. Because I just feel like growing up, see my mom struggle, see my mom upset most of the time, and you know, my dad. You know, I'll give you one example. My dad used to say to my mom, you know, he promised my mom, I was maybe 3 years old. I will come for him. You know, he could spend the weekend here, this and that. So my mom would prepare her bag. Yeah, she'll get a bag ready for me. You can imagine an overnight bag being there. And I used to sit at the window and actually wait for him to come, but he never come. He never comes. So I think it was a lot of disappointment. You can imagine as someone at that age like myself, he was getting, you know, built up. You know, my mom was like, I'm building up my expectations for this, and then it just got crushed instantly. So I think for me, it never made me think less of him. You know, because I know societal roles and gender roles now in society as I've grown up to understand that it's difficult for a man. You know,
it is.
And who knows what's going on behind the scenes? Behind the scenes, my mom and my dad's relationship might have been very toxic.
Yeah.
So then she might have basically said this and that. Tell me one thing, but she's doing another. You understand me? And she might be using me as a weapon.
Did you guys manage to lock the door?
Yeah, your front door.
So that's kind of what I see now as growing up now. Because I've got a daughter myself now, you know.
You've got a daughter, so you're a father. So that's one thing that some men, some young men, like, they quickly run and criticize the father, absentee father. Yeah. But then they kind of omit that they're going to be fathers as well at some point. And that they'll face those challenges.
Yeah, exactly. And look,
so do you have access to your child?
At the moment, it's kind of a sticky situation that, you know, I'm not gonna go too deep into that, you know, with and share this. You know,
okay. So if you don't want to talk about it, we'll skip that one.
Yeah, we'll just, like, you know, brush over that, and maybe we can pick that up another time. But I feel like right now.
So, but you understand. You do understand that men don't have it easy.
No, they don't have it easy. They don't have it easy. The reality of it is, it's always the woman using the child as some sort of weapon. You understand me?
As a weapon.
Yeah, right. We can all agree on that, can't we? Yeah. Definitely, yeah.
Yes. As men, we can agree on that. Honestly, you find a man that cannot agree with that.
No bias in this room.
If you find a man that cannot agree with that, mate, they need to have a sex check. Just nowadays we have
Bruce Jenner. We need to do Bruce Jenner.
This why it's important. Look at his experience and my experience.
Yeah,
I was blessed.
100%.
And to be honest with you, I was blessed because my father was there for me.
Yeah.
Your father.
Yeah. So what impact did that have on you and as you as a person?
No matter what happened to me, I'm sat here with you. He was the one calling my phone before.
Right.
Yeah. I'm blessed. I'm blessed because I always tell everyone. And when other people are talking about not having their fathers in their lives, I can see.
It has a psychological impact, whether we like to admit it or not.
Yeah, but the woman will say that.
He's waste of space, you know. He doesn't want to come near you.
He doesn't want to come near you. He's got other kids, he's got other wives.
So you can imagine, to me, a lot of people say,
"Well, just keep repeating that all the time."
Exactly. So
she never speak in a positive way about
it. Never.
Now I understand he doesn't help himself when he promises he's gonna come and he doesn't turn up.
Exactly. But who knows what happened that day? You know, a bus could have been late or something could have happened. You know, there's a lot of different examples.
You never know.
We all went through.
You never know.
Exactly. My daughter, so I went through these where at time the woman would say, "Forget about her. You're never gonna see her."
Yeah.
Blah blah. So you'll spend like a month or two. And then
it's so destroying, man. You know,
if you want to be there, it just all in one system. This is what I've been trying to point out first when we're having that conversation.
Yeah,
the system need looking at,
right?
And it's never gonna happen yet.
No,
you understand what I'm saying? So it's sad.
I think it's got every child needs both parents,
of course,
in their
mom
life.
and dad.
Whether they co-parenting or whatever.
I think for the boy situation, it's even more important.
Because how does that mind, like myself now, when I'm growing in society and I'm you know, I'm in college, for instance. Let's just use this here.
Because the boy needs more discipline at a very early age.
Exactly.
And the woman cannot
inflict that.
You know, onto a boy, and the boy will read that and will run through that woman.
100%.
They will.
And it's not.
The woman is just there. She's just giving love and love and love.
That's
She doesn't know that. She doesn't know how to hold.
If I was a
down.
female, it would be a lot different. You know, the roles would be reversed a little
I
bit.
see some young women coming here with boys, man.
Yeah.
Oh,
Man,
my
the
God.
guys, they just want to wreck the show, and the woman is there screaming and shouting. Well, I take one simple example. Why would you bring a child that you know full well they're gonna misbehave in a public place and not have them in a pram?
Yeah.
Why would you do
Common
that?
sense.
And then she comes there, she goes,
Parenting.
start shouting at the kid, don't do that, don't do this, don't do that. If
That's what they know.
she's distracted, she can't do what she's come here to
Yeah,
do
yeah,
because
yeah.
the child's, you know, she's going to
Doing
look after the
got
child.
free reign of it everywhere.
Yeah, he's running everywhere.
Well, you
And
cannot
then, and then
advise
she
them.
says this, and then she says this, oh, stop it. The man's gonna shout at you, and she'll get, or the master is gonna shout at you. So she's delegating
Yes.
her own
Child.
power
Yeah.
to a stranger.
You got basically
Thank you.
threaten them. It seems like, you know, certain parents, they have to kind of not threaten them in a bad way. You
Yeah.
understand what I mean? They to inflict the discipline and
And
inflict
often you
order,
understand that
they
these
have to
parents
kind of-
are living in a situation where
Yeah,
there's no man, there's no
Yeah.
male influence in
Yeah,
that house.
But the same system support that.
Yeah.
That's why the system is spending so much money, wasted.
Mm-hmm.
Because instead of let's say, if two people separate as family, let's talk about the family court.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
This civil
A woman and a man comes to the family court.
Mm-hmm.
The first thing you'll hear is the woman will have responsibility
Yeah.
for the kids. That's the first thing you're gonna hear.
Because the woman carried the baby. So
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. Both
That's
of you
exactly,
create those.
Yeah, exactly. It takes two to tango.
You know what I mean? That's
But
what
we're
I'm
equal, remember?
That's what.
yeah.
No.
Yes,
we do
We're
like
meant to be equal.
Yeah,
Society,
we are
society is
equal.
built to favor.
But
the
we're not
women,
equal in
I
that sense.
always say to myself,
Yeah.
I'm proud because from day one my son was born. My first child was born. I had no help. My wife did not know how to raise children. She's never had a child before that.
Yeah.
Okay, so I definitely know it was the worst times for us.
Yeah, it's very difficult.
But I raised my children. I used to wake up, feed them.
Yeah.
My wife was going through
Take them to
depression.
school.
Depression.
Yes, I can totally.
Yeah, some
totally-
women do
pregnancy.
have depression after giving birth.
Yeah, thank you. So I went through all that with her.
Mm-hmm.
But then I turn around, I'm thinking to myself, nowadays, the time I was in court trying to prove that,
Yeah.
they still don't want to believe it.
It's one thing doing it, and then it's another explaining it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Of
You
course,
have
of
done
course.
your part as a father,
Yeah.
but the judges or the court will not be able to see that
Only God.
They don't
knows.
help.
because they don't.
No, of course.
So that's
So
it's
totally
very
different.
stressful and it's a very traumatic experience. And men don't necessarily externalize their suffering or their,
No,
you know, like
we
no.
try to keep it in.
Well,
our-
basically,
trying to
you
keep it
know,
under
society
control,
says, "Oh,
sure.
men, you know, you need to be a man."
Yeah, man.
And that is very, very dangerous because
It is.
Yes.
mental health with men is very common now.
It is now.
You
It
know?
is. It's increased.
And it's slept on. A lot of people are
It
just
is
brush it under the carpet. Be man up, you know.
Yeah, man up.
And when you get told that as a man, you think, wow, you know, if you've not been treated nicely, like we're talking about, and people are not seeing the sort of difficulties you're facing, and you know, it's a hurdle after hurdle after hurdle, and you're getting that on top of that.
Yeah.
You know, it's crushing. It's
Because
crushing.
the kids will not have anything to do.
No,
If
of
they
course.
lost, they know they don't have their father at
Yeah.
home. They know that when things have been stressful at home,
100.
the first thing they will think of is going out.
Yeah.
That's why we got kids now. You can't tell them
Doing
what
any
to
type
do.
of fuckery. Yeah, they're
You
swearing.
can't tell a child what to do.
No, they're not. They're unruly, innit? They're
But the
very
same
unruly.
system want to blame. So it's double blaming.
Yeah.
No,
So-
you don't have a child if you know that you can't raise your own child. That's the law.
Yeah, that's true.
That should be the law.
Yeah.
But right now, the law is on one side.
On one side, yeah.
Yeah.
The woman's side.
Thank you. Not only the woman. I mean, some good mothers are out there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, there are
we're
some.
not gonna fire too many
I mean,
shots at women.
so many
like that.
great women are
Yeah.
out there. They don't use this sort of strategies.
No, of course.
But when you talk about relationship these days, the positive in it is lower than the negative.
Yeah.
The negative is higher.
There's no balance in there.
There's no.
balance. There's no.
There's
And
no.
one bad woman can't be responsible for every woman in that sort of place.
No.
Do you understand?
No.
Yeah. Because the women, like, they're not giving themselves really.
I have respect for women. I always say that.
Yeah, totally.
As long as you don't mistreat what should not be mistreated. You know what I mean? Because when it comes to children, no matter what, I will never stop their mother from my children.
Yeah. Despite anything.
Never.
Doesn't matter if she hurts you or
Never.
she's cruel to you.
I even said
think
that
you
at
make an
court.
example
Just
of-
all I want is for her to send them to me and not me even going near her.
Yeah. Sometimes you got to
Sometimes that's the funny thing, right? A woman like he wants to constantly. There's this thing with women,
control.
Like, they want to control.
Control.
What is this a kind of habit, or is it just a women nature that they like
It's
to
nature.
control?
It's nature. I think. Look back.
A woman will say to you, "I don't want any of your girlfriend near my child," but you don't know what boyfriend goes near your child.
Yeah.
So it's
And that doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's
Thank you.
contradicting themselves
The
constantly.
same point I went into court for.
Where did they pick these things from?
I have no right for any father coming into my children with their mother. So why?
Because no, the reason is you believe that the mother is an adult and she knows how to make right decision as to who is a danger for the child
Yeah,
and who
exactly.
is not.
Yeah, exactly.
You understand? But it feels like you don't have that ability to decide,
Yeah, to differentiate the
who is the a danger for your child or not.
Yeah.
And then she feels like empowered to actually dictate that to you.
Yeah.
And say, "Oh no, I don't want your girlfriend to come anywhere near my child. I don't want none of your girlfriend to." No, he can go to your house as long as you don't bring any woman there in the house. What the?
I got stuck on the same. My wife stopped the children from the same topic that you just.
Because you know what I think comes into it. I think what happens
So
is when
this is what I went through.
when they have the kid, I think the man he kind of takes a step back sometimes, and this is what makes the woman very bitter. You understand? So sometimes the man wouldn't want to continue the relationship, and the woman is like, "Well, if I can't have him, you can't have him."
Yeah.
This is the mentality they've got. It's very silly mentality.
No, because
And then when you're there, while you're there, right? Woman is in this new relationship with this guy, and she's leaving you alone. When things go wrong there, she come back to bite you.
always.
She
Always.
wants freedom.
Always.
She's got too much freedom
Always.
for this.
She
So-
comes and messes your life up.
Yeah. Because
When you see it coming, you know that over there,
Yeah.
there's something happening.
I do know. You do. I went through the same experiences as you're saying. So that's what I'm saying. Like, you never know. You know what I mean? Because the woman can criminalize you to the court straight.
Yeah.
And that's the opinion the court will keep.
Yes, 100%. I'm going through something right. It's so
You understand
simple
what I'm
right
saying?
now. It's
I'm
not
not
like-
against the court.
My child, she's 15 months to be precise
Okay.
right now.
So you are
15 months. So she's
Bless
one, so she's basically, a lot of people would just say, "Oh, my child's one," and that, but I'm very
Did you want to have a child?
Oh, no, because to be honest with you, my viewpoint is that I wasn't in a financial position to have a child. So to me,
I said that to my missus, and then she goes, "Tough, man. You should have kept it. You should have kept it. You know,
tough.
you should have used a condom then."
Yeah.
But listen, men have control over access to relationship.
Yeah.
Women have control over sex.
That's very
That
true.
is true.
Yeah. Bottom line,
100%
bottom line.
all the time. That's the bottom line.
Yeah,
Because sometimes they say, "Oh, then you should have." No. You are the one in charge of sex. The woman, she's the one in charge of sex.
Yeah.
The man, he can choose who gets involved in a relationship with him.
Yeah.
You
It's very
understand?
controversial. A lot of
Now,
people
if
don't
a
agree with that,
man,
but it's true.
if a woman doesn't have the power to say, "I don't want to have a sexual relationship with a person," then that's rape.
Yeah. That's
So you're not claiming the guy raped you, therefore you were willingly having sex with him.
Yeah,
And then next
100%.
is
Yeah.
the-
And when she has that power, she also has the power to say, "No, I want you to have a condom or to use a condom.
Yeah, or maybe
I'm gonna go on a contraceptive.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go
the next day to take
or the
the
next day pill."
Yeah.
She's got that option.
Very
She's
common.
got all of those options,
Yeah.
and she chooses to ignore them
Yeah.
and instead have the baby and then blame it on the man.
Man, yes.
Say it was you.
Deflect
think we'll all be
situation
there.
onto me.
Yeah, it was you because of you.
Yeesh.
But guess what? Yes, when the woman wants sex the most, unfortunately,
Yeah. Which
that's
is
the
quite
time.
common. It's
That's the
loneliness,
time when
everything against
she's
her.
most likely
Yeah.
to
conceive.
conceive.
That's right, 100%.
That's how the body would
Women are
go.
different.
Yeah.
Because
They're very
sex,
different.
it was made for procreation sex.
Complicated.
sex wasn't made
We're trying to
for.
know more about women.
no
but we
pleasure
still
involved.
learn
Yeah,
about
there was no pleasure. We somehow found
The pleasure.
pleasure in that, practice.
Our mind is simple as a man,
And
innit?
and then look at the lion, and the
just
lion
one aim to
is,
get-
when they're having sex.
To procreate.
When the lion, the lion is done, mate, he doesn't even want to hear about the female.
Yeah.
Well, he'll just bite her away
Yeah,
to fucking
that's-
go away.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because he's got multiple options, isn't it?
Yeah.
He has
So-
more options. So-
And that's what sex is made for. And they don't just have sex for the fun of it.
no.
Those animals, they only have sex for procreation.
Yeah.
Procreation.
And that's what even the religious kind of sense of it, if you refer to religion, and that's what religion will say. But however, today we have sex like.
But it's in our
women
DNA with all
fuck-
animals. Like Henry VIII, for instance, now when he had the other wives that he, sadly killed because he didn't get what he wanted. He wanted the boy so then he could carry on his legacy. And that's important, isn't it, to men sometimes, is to have the boy so then, when a girl comes, if I've got a girl in my respect, if she's going to get married, my name is done. That's it, it's forgotten about. She'll
So-
take his name, so
Life is interesting.
Girls and women, we would like to tell you that whatever you're doing with men is got a consequence on what the society will look like.
That's
Because
right.
a child growing without the presence of the father is
damaging.
different
It's very damaging.
to a child growing with the presence of a father.
In this
It's
generation.
very damaging for the child.
Yeah.
It's very damaging for the father.
Yeah.
So why would you choose to cause so much harm and stress
Yeah.
and perhaps so much depression on this human being? And then you will see the woman there, she's raising the children, and then the child does something and she's like, I'm going to call you dad. Do women do that? No, when the child is with me and I'm in charge, I don't call nobody. I don't even call the police.
No.
I deal with every
That's it.
single
Yeah,
issue.
yeah. It's like the lack
The
of
child is injured, I take him to the hospital.
Yeah.
The child needs to go to school, I take him to school.
Yeah.
Yes.
But then the woman that the child is injured, she'll be calling you, he's got injured. You got,
Panic.
and you're like, well, just call the 999 and stuff.
Panic
Yeah.
mode.
No, you fucking don't care, do you? You don't. I'm not the doctor. I'm not the ambulance driver.
Us men, we're built to think logic.
Yeah,
It's about logic,
yeah.
isn't it?
I'm not the doctor. I'm not.
Yeah.
So there's nothing I can do. I mean, even a taxi can take him there quicker than I can.
Yeah, literally,
Yes, sir.
but women are emotional creatures.
So
and that's why when you got women that are
You
empowered,
don't
Sensitive.
care. You don't
Yeah,
care
they're
about
very
your children and
sensitive.
stuff.
Sensitive emotions,
So
you
the
can't-
man thinks logically, the woman thinks
think
emotionally.
emotionally. Yeah,
And
that's the rules of the game.
That is
That's
the
how-
rule of the game, like he says,
Yeah.
and we can't change that.
No way.
However, what we're asking women to do is to stop
Be mindful. Be very mindful with every action you take when it comes to your
to
children.
children.
When it comes to regards of your
So there's the man here who's affected. There's another man there who's affected in two ways.
Two ways,
As
both
a
ways.
child and as a father.
Yeah.
You understand?
For God
Anyway,
forbid I had a sorry to interrupt you, but God forbid I had a son because for my absence of my father, it wouldn't reflect positively on how I would raise my son.
Yeah.
You understand that? So there'd be certain things that I wouldn't know as a dad to
to step up.
introduce. Yeah, exactly. So I think having a daughter was the way it should have been for me. And I think
I have to learn all by myself.
yeah,
That's
exactly,
what
exactly.
make me even
And it's a
more
struggle when
determined.
you've got basically all your friends,
From
yeah.
the hospital, from my wife having a cesarean,
Yeah.
I had it because after cesarean she couldn't move, so
Yeah,
I had a baby from that moment.
Yeah.
The second my children are born, and I've been
Stayed there.
in every birth of all my kids.
Brilliant. Like me as well. I was there
I
in
was
the apron, hat,
in
we
there
had
to
everything.
witness,
Yeah.
which was a blessing. That
Yeah.
hot day, I
Double
remember.
blessing.
Stressful, but yeah, went through it all,
Yeah.
and it was.
It was
Wow.
worth it, innit? It was
Yeah.
worth it.
Yeah.
It was very worth it.
That's why I'm proud of myself. So
yeah.
I always
you should
say,
be. Yeah, you definitely should be proud.
I will
Yeah,
always
so-
carry on, and I will always try to do my.
You're a
best.
testament to fathers out there who
Yeah.
are absent. in
A
their
lot
children's
need
lives.
help,
Yeah.
a lot, but they need to speak out,
Yeah.
and we need to
100%.
let a lot of women also speak out.
Yeah.
to be able
Yeah,
to
if a
get-
woman
to-
want to come to the show and then tell us her
we can be
kind
able to
of,
do more opinion and
opinion
more-
on
more-
this topic or this
You're
matter,
more than welcome. You're more than
you're more
welcome.
than welcome, and we will give you that opportunity as soon as you're available.
feel free to talk.
Feel free to talk. It's good
we
for the
need your
conversation,
opinions.
and we need to move this conversation forward. We need to make these things less and less kind of a daily occurrence. I didn't grow up with my father as such in Africa. My father don't really care.
Yeah.
I would send like left, right, center, or
left,
places
right,
like that.
yeah.
So
From
I
women
don't,
to post.
and it doesn't. Also, as African, the way we grow up, even your uncle is your father. If you grow up with him, it's your father stuff.
So,
You know you have a father, but that uncle there you treat him like a father,
Yeah.
and you don't make that a big dramatic kind of event.
Make
No,
a scene out of it,
it's
like
just
that.
normal that because the way it happens in Africa, because parents there they have too many children and they can't look after them all. Sometimes they will send them
Family.
to other members of family who can help them to look after the children.
Children, yeah.
And when you're there, you have
Extend.
to act and behave as if you were with your real father. You treat that man like your father.
Yeah.
And even when he
Respect.
dies, you will be calling that. You tell people that my father died.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
That's how deep it is.
You know, yeah, you tell people
That's
that
how
my father
deep it is.
died. So
Indeed.
you don't stay there. But if I understand, if it happens here in the West, this is what will happen. This is the story. My father abandoned me. He was never there. He gave me to other
No,
people,
but that's what
strangers
they
that
tell
don't
the
have
kids.
nothing to do with me.
No, but they tell those to the kids.
Yes, 100%. So
You
what
know
do
what
you
I
That
mean?
was my
The
part of
problem
the story there,
starts
but I
from-
don't have any grievance or any grief
No, it's good
about
point.
this.
What you just said there, a lot of women never talk positive about their exes,
about the access to
but
the
they don't also think of the consequences it
of
will
all
cause
that negativity.
to that negativity to the kid.
But we can both agree here,
So,
right?
a
We
bit
can both
like-
agree that when they're speaking negatively to the child, it's because they've had a negative experience with
their
the
mom.
child's father. Yeah. So how can how can
No, not necessarily.
no
There are some that
yeah no
do
of
that
course yeah of course that's,
in a bid to separate the child to the father. Like a vengeance, kind of revenge.
yeah that's what I'm trying to touch on now. It's like the mother
too
has got
poisonous.
the mother has got a grudge on the father. They
Yeah.
want
No,
to
they
not
will.
only public
Or the
shaming.
mother,
No, but they
the
will-
right situation, the mother wasn't ready for that relationship to end.
Yeah,
So
that's
you didn't agree on the relationship ending. You ended it, and it also depends how you ended it. You ended it, and you because of another girl,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
perhaps that you went to another girl, you got another new girlfriend, or you were cheating with that girl
Yeah,
when you were with her,
Yeah,
and she would take that and put that in that relationship that you have between the child and you, and destroy that.
And then they'll label you this person, this and that, you.
So
you
I know
bad
some
guy.
parents can be they can cheat and stuff, but that's got nothing to do
With the child.
with the child.
No, and
It's got nothing.
it's
Your
sad to
business.
say, it has nowadays.
Your own
It has
behavior,
nothing to do.
narrative
It has
to the-
behavior has nothing to do with the child.
It should.
When you guys are having a relationship there, it's different.
Different.
That should not impact on
No.
how the child's being raised
I'll agree
or
with
the child being kind of penalized for not being able to see their father
Father.
because
It's another
they
one
misbehaved in a relationship or they did this or that in a relationship, because that's another one that women use and say, oh, your father it was this and that. No, what did the father did wrong with the child? That's what matters.
No.
Can you say something about it? Did he do something something that was wrong, or something that was out of place, or something that was not recommended? No. It's all about what happened in the relationship being transported into the child's life, which is absolutely wrong.
It's emotional immaturity, isn't it?
Yeah, it
Like,
is.
there's a big part in that.
Good
Get me?
answer
They
that.
need to be
I
emotional,
agree with that.
mature, and I think that impacts and reflects on a child. So when they have a relationship, it's very toxic with whoever they would get involved with in the future.
But,
You understand? So and it's really dangerous. So I think we need to nip it in the bud by talking about it. It raises a lot of awareness about it, and
Exactly.
we can kind
Exactly.
of go forward from there. But yeah.
So, and I did talk about this. Like, did you ever have a conversation with your baby mother before the split about other fathers being stopped from seeing their kids? You
no,
ever had that conversation?
We never.
You ever had that?
We never did.
We did.
You did.
No, we never
So,
did.
what would she say? What's the comment that your woman said about those other women that stopped their fathers from seeing their kids?
Negative.
Negative. You
Negative.
say that's wrong. I would do that. Blah blah blah. Well, as soon as you split up, boom.
It happens.
As soon as they
happens.
as soon as they get the knock on the door, the police are there. You're out on the street.
Certain women, they will do that, and they'll make it's like a false sense of security.
It's the law,
In a
the
sort of way.
society. We all need to
Does
start.
a woman's
helping out.
promise mean anything? anymore? You know, when she promised you that, oh, I'll never do that. That's nasty.
Well, she did say to me, she said, well, you know, if you come to, you know, a time in our lives where we wasn't being together, it's a co-parenting sort of situation, she would guarantee to me, like, I would never, ever, you know, turn my back and, you know, I would
Women
never
are
do
like
anything
politicians, you know?
Yes.
Women are like
They
politicians.
say one thing and do
They say
another.
one thing and do another,
That's
you know?
it, bro. That's it.
If you want to join this
They got the way.
debate,
So be
comment in the
careful,
comment
boys. What do you
section below.
say?
We continue. Please like, share, and comment. And
Thanks,
subscribe.
guys.
Nice one.
What a lovely day.